Right, okay, this is the digestion topic book. Right, listen, complete the table by giving the donated organ named on the card. Right, so emphysema is to do with lungs. Coronary is to do with the heart. So learn these things, yeah. Diabetes is to do with the pancreas. Hep is to do with the liver, hepatitis. And poor vision. Right, the organ is really the eye, isn't it? But they've put cornea. Okay, so that if you're gonna donate the cornea, if you've got poor vision, it's to do with the cornea. Right, okay. So how does the liver work with digestion? Remember what we said? There's the liver. The liver produces bile. It stores it in that there is a gall, and then it travels down. That tube is a bile duct, and then it goes into the small intestine. So that's the path of that. So how does it, right, so the liver produces bile, and the bile emulsifies just means it takes a big blob of fat, and we use the word lipid, and it turns it into little pieces. What does that do? That increases the surface area. So I'm going through all this in case you don't know, but if you know, no problem. Surface area for the enzymes to act on, to work on, yeah. So it makes it more efficient for digestion. So it emulsifies lipids, and it also, it's alkaline. It is alkaline to help neutralize the acid content of the stomach. Okay, that'll do it. Right, there's a shortage of people willing to donate organs, hoping to create cloned organisms to solve the problem. What does the word cloned mean? Right, if you bring up the mark scheme, it just means genetically, right, identical. That's probably the safest way to say this. Yeah? Bigger question. Right, so according to the mark scheme, the ciliary muscles will contract. Right, so what happens is, no, let's use something else. Right. So these muscles here, they will contract and they'll pull in. They'll make this gap smaller. When that gap gets smaller, right, ciliary muscles contract, right, when that gap gets smaller, right, let's use this. These ligaments, they're tight at the moment, they'll slacken. When they slacken, what happens is this lens pushes out and gets fatter. It becomes more convex so you can focus. So let's get that right. So ciliary muscles contract. Suspensory ligaments slacken, and the lens becomes more convex, means becomes more fatter. Alright, that'll fit, I think. That's the 4 marks. Let's have a look with the 4 marks. Ciliary muscles, suspensory ligaments, lens, and more convex. Let me just label these up so in case you didn't know. Right, so that there is the ciliary, I don't know what this double L, ciliary muscles, right? These ligaments are the suspensory ligaments. That there is the lens, and then it focuses on the retina. Okay. Right, now, so there's a lot going on here. Okay, fair enough. That was to do with the eye, not to do with digestion, but we're back on digestion. Protein. What are the 3 molecules? You've got carbohydrates, you've got lipids, and you have got proteins. I like to look at this as flour, pasta. That's how I like to look at that. That is a fat, butter, olive oil. Proteins, I like to look at meat, although there's a lot of proteins that you can get from like lentils, dals and things. Okay, but this is the general idea. So what happens in the stomach? What happens in the stomach? Right, okay. The stomach contains hydrochloric, so remember H, hydrogen and chlorine is hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid. Right, the stomach contains hydrochloric acid and secretes pepsin. The pepsin's optimum pH is low because of the acid. And what does it do? It breaks down, digests the protein into right, peptides. I like to say peptides. You could also say amino acids. So let's go check that. Okay, just going back to this, right? Ciliary. Let me just correct this. Ciliary does not have a double L. So ciliary doesn't have a double L. Let me write that down. Ciliary, single L. Okay, I always get that wrong, but right, let's move on. You have adding antibiotics to the water. how method increases the fish productivity. What this does is, if you add an antibiotics, it will kill the pathogens to reduce the amount of diseased fish. Diseased fish. The disease will stop the fish growing or it'll kill them. When you this again, look, this is for fish farming, but we'll do it now. What's this here? Using the nets to cover tanks. What this stops predators eating the fish. So for example, you've got a pool here, you've got loads of fish. There's the pool. There is the water. Now if you've got a bird, fantastic. Right, that's a hawk. It's thinking, oh, food, let me go and eat that. Right, now if you've got a net here, you can't do that. I've tried to get in, but you can't. And also, just say, for example, this is next to the sea and you've got seals here. How do you draw a seal? Something like this. It'll stop it jumping in. So it stops predation. It's called predation. Stop predators coming in. Right, feeding small quantities of food, what does that do? Right, that stops food, uneaten food. It stops uneaten food rotting. And rotting food, rotting food can increase microorganisms. It can increase microorganisms and spread disease. So if you put small amounts of food in, it gets eaten, then the nibbles the stuff off the bottom, and then you put some more in, and then they're hungry again, and so on. Right, okay. So we're looking here again at what happens to fish protein in the human gut, basically intestine, mouth, stomach, and what have you. So okay. So remember what we said last time, the stomach produces pepsin, which the stomach produces pepsin, which breaks down protein into peptides. I need to write a bit cleaner. Right, pepsin has a low optimum. Remember, optimum just means best, right? So because you've got hydrochloric acid, which has a pH of roughly about 2, very low. Pepsin must have a low optimum pH. Pepsin has a low optimum pH. Right, what happens next? The pancreas produces, and we're only interested in protein, so produces trypsin, which digests protein into peptides as well. Right, and that's generally neutral, so it's got a neutral pH. What else is it? Right, okay, the small intestine, right, and that's the top part. The top part is called the duodenum. duodenum. I'm using these words deliberately to get used to them. The small intestine, the duodenum, produces or secretes peptidase. Peptidase. And can you see the ACE tells you it's an enzyme which breaks down, that's terrible, capital B in the middle of a sentence, breaks down what? Peptides into amino acids. Then the blood then absorbs the amino acids, and that should be in. Okay, right, what we've got here, one other thing is, let me just write that. You got that. Okay. Yes. Okay. Bile also neutralizes the stomach, the stomach content. So the stuff that comes out of the stomach is acidic. Bile neutralizes it. So then when trypsin there is in the small intestine and the polypeptides, so it's peptidase there, it works in a neutral environment, so their optimum pH is neutral. Right, okay, let's keep going. Right, we've got poo. Yeah, okay, so look, right, you'll be able to see this, right? If you've got one type of poo, it's hard bumps, that means you've got a lack of water, you're dehydrated. Type 7 is really running, that means you've got diarrhea. Right, let's have a look at this. Right, let's delete that. Can we delete that? Can we delete that? Yes, we can. No, we can't. Can we put that? Why can't we delete that? Oh, silly. Right, okay. So we've done that. How is food moved through the gut? Right. The process is called peristalsis. So your muscles contract and the circular muscles contract, the longitudinal muscles relax, and you get waves of that, and the food is pushed through the gut. So that means when you're lying down, your food's still digesting. Okay, and remember what we said is where. Let me just draw this quickly. So there's your stomach, there's your small intestine. Let's do that, and then from here you've got your large intestine. It goes along, down, and out. So let's label everything up. That's your stomach. Okay, this here is your small intestine. I'm going to split up into two. The first half we call the duodenum. The second half, that's where the digestion takes place. Second half is called the ileum. That's where the food's absorbed into the blood, the digested food. And then here, that's the large intestine. That part is called the colon. Goes up. The last part is called the rectum. So excess water is absorbed there. Rectum stores the waste food and it's expelled out of the body, out of the anus. Right, let me just write this so then you can see it. So duodenum, you get digestion. Ileum, you get absorption of the food into the blood. The colon absorbs water. The rectum stores the poo or the feces, and anus expels the feces. Okay, right. So stored in the rectum, expelled out of the anus. Right. How does egestion and excretion? Yeah, that normally causes confusion. That does, believe it or not. Right. So egestion is when your body removes undigested food from the body. Excretion is the removal of waste from cells, and we normally call it urea, and then it becomes urine, and then it's expelled out of the body. Right, how do we remove urea or cell waste or excretion waste? It's filtered through the kidneys, most of it. You'll also sweat, and also you'll also remove some from the lungs. Right, so that is excretion. No, that is excretion. The one in the cells is excretion. That's cell waste, and the other one does not occur in the cells. It's as a body as a whole, so it goes through the gut, and then anything that's not digested, it comes out of the anus. Right, okay, let's move on. Right, let's do this. Let me just go to the side. So we want to know how starch is digested. Right, okay, first of all, in your mouth, your salivary can't even spell salivary gland. Your salivary gland produces something called amylase. Amylase turns starch into maltose. Right, remember what we said? Ose tells you it's going to be a sugar. The ACE part tells you it's an enzyme. What did we say an enzyme was? A biological catalyst. It's a catalyst. What is a catalyst? It's something that speeds up a reaction. It speeds up a reaction. Let's just leave it at that for now. Right, what's next? It turns starch into maltose. Then the pancreas produces or excretes amylase to turn starch into maltose as well. But this is in the mouth, low pH, then it goes through the stomach and that'll get destroyed. So you get some more amylase produced, and then the small intestine wall, produces or excretes. What does it excrete? It excretes maltase. Remember what we said? ACE is an enzyme, so maltase, which turns maltose into glucose. And again, these are sugars, so O tells you it's a sugar. And then it gets absorbed into the body, into the blood. Right, let's keep going. How much is there? Right, let's have a look. 8, 9, 10. Whoa, it's already half an hour. Right, let's just Right, I've got to explain all that as well. Okay, 1 second. Where are we? Right, we'll stop there and we'll carry on with part 2. So from question 6 onwards. Right, let's put a stop to that.